shamatha in Vipassana, we talked about the union of shamatha and Vipassana, right? Great master, great yogi, Milarepa said one of his students had a difficult meditation, and he asked him to help. And he said, Milarepa said, I give you 3 examples that how to practice the union of shamatha and Vipassana. His student had a difficult to practice shamatha and Vipassana, the union of shamatha and Vipassana. So that's why he gives example. And Milarepa said, when you look at the sky, there is no center and no edge that we can point to. But clouds appeared in the sky. Look at the mountains. It is completely stable and unmoving. But there are plants and trees growing on the mountain. Look at the ocean. It is completely calm and still. But sometimes the waves appear. Same way, our mind is calm and clarity in the emptiness. But thoughts appear, right? So what should we do all these things? And Milarepa also said that if you are able to meditate on the mind, then sometimes thoughts will appear, but these thoughts are just movement in the mind. They are nothing other than the mind. Remember yesterday we talked about the nature of thoughts. Nature of thoughts is it's nothing other than the mind, the nature of the mind. They are just a manifestation of our mind. If you understand the nature of thoughts, then they will naturally disappear. In this way, we can understand the union of shamatha and Vipassana. Resting without thought is shamatha meditation, right? And seeing that these thoughts are nothing other than manifestation of the mind is Vipassana. So that is the union of shamatha and Vipassana. If you have a difficult to rest, no meditate shamatha. If you don't see the clarity, if you don't recognize the thoughts are the nature thoughts, are the manifestation of the nature mind, then we don't have Vipassana meditation. So they are never separate, shamatha and Vipassana actually, but they are union. And also we need to understand that there are 2 states of mind. In Tibetan we say Sem and Rigpa. So Sem refers to our conceptual thinking, involving fixation on something. sim, the mind. It is an incorrect way of perceiving because of the afflictions. Rigpa means, or Rigpa is free from fixation. It means a state of nature awareness that is without dualistic thinking. That's what we call the Rigpa. It is extremely important to know the difference between these two state mind, sim and Rigpa, in order to understand the union of shamatha and vipassana. The teachings of Buddha describe reality in two ways. The seeming and the real, or the superficial and the absolute, the relative, the ultimate, or how things appear and how things truly are. Two things, right? Two truths. That's why we have a two-state mind, sim and Rigpa. That's why we have a two truths, relative truth, ultimate truth. The same as the subject. The relative truth is the object. The Rigpa is subject. Ultimate truth is object. Whatever is experienced in the state of sim or conceptual mind is always just superficial or relative truth, or things as they appear. But whatever is experienced in that state of Rigpa or non-conceptual wakefulness is always the genuine, real, and things as they truly are. Sometimes we say this is sort of clarity, the union of the clarity and emptiness, or sometimes we say the luminosity. So when we say this, we are talking about our true nature, luminosity. We're talking about our true nature. This luminosity of our true nature means that it is both empty and fully aware. So these two qualities, emptiness and awareness, are inseparable. That we need to recognize it. The union of appearance and the emptiness, this means that the wisdom of emptiness and the wisdom of appearance, these two are not separate. They are separate only by our perception of being apart. So this is we called obscurations, right? That is that's why we must do purification practice. We have obstacles. Once the obscurations are reduced, then the realization is easy. Therefore, the whole sort of base of Dharma practice is very direct and related to our present state of mind. Understand what is different between sim and Rigpa? Understand? Yeah.
So in sim, there's concepts or conceptual experience of reality, and in Rigpa, it's non-conceptual, so there's no elaboration, like the no form, no smell, no taste, all that.
Right. It's, yep. sometimes we call the difference between. In order to understand the union of shamatha and vipassana, you have to understand what is the difference between the ground consciousness and Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is the Rigpa in this case. That's very important to understand. So practice is not based on sort of old stories, and it is not sort of romantic, you know. It is idea sort of from the past, because when our mind is relaxed and we feel free and easy, everything is kind of very beautiful, peaceful, you know, everything is just nice. But when our mind is sort of agitated and disturbed, everything feels wrong. So it is actually not enough to recognize the nature of your mind only once or twice. We need to train in it again and again. There are so many qualities appear if you practice and recognize the nature mind, practice again and again, and then until familiarize. And then there are so many wisdoms, so much compassion, so much love and kindness, so much, you know, we call it omniscient mind. All these qualities appear because there is no obstacles, no afflictions, no ignorance. Ignorance covered everything, blocked the wisdom mind, the compassion, the love, everything. Once you recognize the nature of mind, or we call the Dharmakaya or the Rigpa, it's not nothingness. There are so many qualities appears, so many, you know, the capacity, limitless. It's not nothing. It's not just like unconscious. It's not like that. If you understand it correctly and practice again and again and diminish all afflictions, then these qualities appear. That's Buddha did. He practiced 6 years. And the last day of 6 years, he went to Bodhikaya. Of course, he was a Bodhikaya. And he promised himself and don't stand up and just stay under the Bodhi tree. And he promised, when I get enlightenment, I'm not going anywhere. And then he got deep realization that night, and then become a Buddha. And then he continually practiced like 49 days, enjoy his meditation, realizations. After 49 days, then he walked slowly to their path, Varanat. And then he taught the Four Noble Truths to 5 people. That's his first teaching. So he just enjoy with his realization. But he thought, no, this, so now I understand everything I have to teach. But when he became a Buddha, he did not teach right away. 49 days he just enjoy, day to day, night to night, enjoy. So, oh, nice. Become a Buddha is just amazing, of course. So, when you rest directly in the nature of mind during your meditation, the experience is that of a genuine nature. It is the experience of deep, non-conceptual awareness that is beyond samsara and nirvana. The key point in Vipassana meditation is awareness. But what is awareness? It is simply a state of mind that is not distracted from the present moment. That is awareness. When we bring the mind to rest in its own state, in its own nature, without distraction, own nature, then we are in a state of awareness of the present moment. The details of these practices should be received from your individual root teacher. There is no rule to teach you the pointing out the nature of mind with so many people. I mean, usually it's individually. When you have a sort of strong heart connection to your teacher, and then receive these instructions directly from him or her, it is much more personal and powerful experience. The moment of transmission of pointing out the nature of mind becomes a strong meeting point and a genuine meeting of minds. So the instructions are sort of far more effective than when one receives a general introduction of the Vipassana from a teacher. So when we receive pointing out instruction from our root teacher, we are being introduced directly and nakedly to the reality of mind's nature. These instructions become very effective if we have prepared ourselves to receive them. Mapa Rinpoche, he is the most important teacher in Nyingma lineage. And he said that we do not need to make clear or improve the nature of our mind. The nature of our mind is always perfect. For example, he said, a very sharp sword that is put away in its sheath cannot cut anything, right? But when we take the sword out, then it already has the ability to cut. So that is our mind. This ability is not taken away by putting its sheath, nor given to it by taking it out. Similarly, our mind is, encased or covered within the afflictions and obscurations, obstacles, so cannot use the nature of our mind. However, as soon as we removed obscurations, the nature of mind is already radiant, perfect, and full of good qualities. It's sharp sword, sharp knife, already have ability to cut. it is same whether you are a human being or another forms of sentient being. The nature of mind is the same. It arises in and it manifests within the space of your awareness in its own nature state. We believe that. From the Dzogchen, the great perfection point of view, when we can recognize the nature of mind of Rigpa, I just told you, and relax in that nature, we do not have to seek after freedom, enlightenment come to us. That is, possible in this very lifetime. Therefore, it is important for us to look at each arising of thoughts or emotion, to accept that experience and to be clear about its nature. So, in general, everything that we experience is in illusion. All good and bad, samsara and nirvana, and it comes from our minds. Therefore, if something changes in our mind, then the outer world of appearance are also changed. It is very important to understand that all appearances are unsubstantial. It depends on how our mind change. Because samsara comes from karma, right? Samsara comes from karma. Karma comes from afflictions. So if you abandon the afflictions, you can realize the nature of samsara. Nature of samsara is the nature of nirvana. There are nothing different between these two. But we make different because of the mind. So as soon as we change our mind, everything appears also changed, will change. In order to change our mind, we have to practice shamatha and Vipashyana, and need to recognize the nature of thoughts. Nature of thoughts and nature of mind, nothing different. If you don't understand the nature of thoughts, of course, leads you samsara and makes you everything difficult. If you understand nature of thoughts, then everything is peace and calm, joy, compassion, everything appears. So that is the union of shamatha and Vipashyana. Understand? You guys very quiet. All right. Now we should practice shamatha and Vipashyana together. Not go detail about these things. All right, what we did yesterday. We need to alternate between looking at the mind and rest in meditation. That is what we did yesterday, right? So which means meditate by just resting in its essence, in essence, its nature. You understand? This means the mind is not focused on anything, right? But first you have to sort of motivation that, oh, I'm going to look in at our mind in very deeply, right? You have that kind of motivation. That motivation leads you to the nature of mind. So this meditation, it's very important. Keep your eyes a little bit open. And that means we bring our mind and our eyes into focus by looking at the nature of the mind. Did you feel that yesterday? Your mind, it's resting, right? Resting. Wisdom eyes, very helpful. This kind of meditation. If you keep close your eyes, you block the wisdom channel. Wisdom, what do you call it? Mind. So therefore, sometimes we also say your breath. You breathe not in your nose, but through your mouth. Slightly open your mouth. And then breathe out and in through your mouth. You should try that. Which one is better? So that's all. Understand?
Could you say more about the wisdom eyes? Because it's not an actual seeing event. You don't actually see.
No. This time, look at your mind, which means you experience, right? You will experience the nature mind. And there is a wisdom light. If you open your eyes, the wisdom light help you get this experience, which is the nature mind. If you close your eyes, the beginner close eyes, then you don't have that wisdom light. But once you are sort of good about this meditation, then it doesn't matter. You can meditate this nighttime, daytime, even though you are asleep. When you sleep, you can meditate on this. That's the luminosity. We call it the luminosity. When you go to sleep, whole night you are in this state. You are meditating. Doesn't matter, open or close your eyes. But if you're beginner, you need this light, the wisdom light. So do that, and you will experience. You will experience through your eyes. All right. Understand? Yeah.
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 you want us to do where when we breathe out and then we pause for just a second and look at the mind?
Well, that is shamatha.
And then breathe in and then stop and look at the mind like that?
Yeah. You want, if you want, you can do that. So whatever you want. So you can do that. So that's the most actually shamatha, with object and without the object, right? So that kind of shamatha. So this meditation that I'm talking, you are not focused on anything, just resting and nature mind. I mean nature, or you can just rest, and that's all. Then you will see what kind of experience you will get.
So you're saying kind of like an objectless shamatha and then just see what happens? And then
More than that.
Could become Vipassana? Or?
Yes, that depends you. If you recognize, okay, this is without doubt, then yes, that's a Vipassana, the union of shamatha and Vipassana. If you have still doubt, I'm not sure this, there is a clarity he's talking, but I can't see this, then maybe you're just practicing on objectless shamatha. So I just told you, right, what is different between Sem and Rigpa. That is the point. And then I told you what is the awareness, right? Clarity, or the awareness, just I told you, the same. So you have to recognize that. You are not focusing, you are not follow your thoughts, you are not visualize nothing, but you will experience this awareness, clarity, calm, peaceful. These are the part of the quality of our nature mind. We are not completely diminish all negative emotions. That's why we can't see the full of qualities, our nature mind, but we can experience the part of some qualities, nature of mind. Yeah.
So when you're recognizing that you're having a thought, what recognizes is the Rigpa. So in some ways, the Rigpa includes the Sam. So it's not as if they're not connected with one another.
They are, yes, they are not different, but they are not the same. It's kind of, they are not the same because of Sem and Rigpa, but they are not different because you can find their way. So if you really recognized the Rigpa, then you have no dualistic mind. That is the Rigpa. If you don't recognize, then the dualistic mind there. So they're not same, they're not different. Yes, understand? Okay. We need to Bodhicitta mantra 3 times. It's all right. Any questions before this? No question. You know how to do meditate. Just don't worry, okay? Don't nervous. You should make yourself very calm, and that's all. Very calm and let go everything. That's all. Thoughts come and kind of look at the nature of thoughts and dissolve, right? They're just automatically, you experience that? Automatically dissolve. You don't know where they go, but just disappear. That's the intrinsic nature of thoughts. So we don't know where they go, but they just disappear. And then another, thoughts arise. We don't know actually where they come from exactly, but they just come. And just to let go. Meditate. Just to calm and just to let go. Like that. Did you see me? I do that. My thoughts come and then I let go and relax. Oh, thoughts come, let go. Don't follow. Don't follow your thought. Makes you very confused if you follow your thoughts. Then one thoughts after another and then another, and then you will lose your main practice, and then so difficult to come back. When you sit down to meditate, do you notice that there are many thoughts that keep on coming into your mind? We all do that, right? Yeah. So some of them are yours, but many others come from external sources. That's why if you live in a city like here, with lots of people, all kind of activities, thoughts and emotions, we have many thoughts is not yours. Many thoughts not yours. Lots of external activities with large number of people. But how do we go beyond this? How? Practice shamatha and Vipashyana. So we think and we feel every day, like a year, like 360 days, right? A year. No? 65? Okay. 365 days a year. So we can imagine how many thoughts and emotions have accumulated inside our mind. That's why very difficult to control our mind when you sit down and meditate. So many thoughts because of this. We accumulate, year by year, month by month. So that's why difficult to control, right? That's why difficult to diminish negative afflictions and concentrate. Therefore, it is important when you practice, there must be a balance between concentration and awareness. Concentration is necessary for the meditation, but awareness is also very necessary in order to achieve certain result and inner and higher sort of a motivation. So concentration is part of the shamatha, awareness is part of the vipassana. So in vipassana practice, the emptiness is on not grasping onto, right? And follow and after any thoughts, how I say this? Let's forget that. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is we accumulate so many thoughts year by year. So that's why it is difficult to diminish our negative emotions. That's why it is difficult to concentrate. We need to know that. Otherwise, sometimes people think, like maybe every day, maybe 1 month meditate, it's not so much help, then they lose their confidence. But if compare your meditation compared to accumulate your thoughts, your meditation is nothing, very short. That's why you need to know that. So when you have the sense of the meditating mind dissolving into the object, this is sometimes said to be non-conceptual, because thoughts no longer arise. But the Dzogchen master or the great perfection masters say that conceptualization is still present. Actually, the mind has always been sort of jumping from one thing to another, but we are not really aware of it. The human body and mind are like a radio that can receive signals, right? Signals, so many stations. So it is important to sit down and to look at your thoughts and emotions and to recognize them. Thoughts and emotions are sort of living beings. So when you look at them and you do not follow them and you do not feed them, if you follow, you feed, right, your thoughts. If you don't feed them, then they will gradually lose their energy and disappear. The practice meditation is like really you have to make sure you have to have a method. Otherwise, not too loose, not too tight. You have to some sort of balance between your practice, the body, mind. Your practice. It's practice meditation is like a playing a guitar. How you make this, if you make the strings too tight, the sound produced is not so beautiful, not so good, right? If you make the strings too loose, the sound is also not so good. So there must be the correct way to do it, right? So your meditation is not too tight or not too loose. So when the mind and the emotions are calm, it is possible to achieve self-realization, or what is known in Buddhism as becoming aware of your true nature. So important. That's why we need sort of a good method in order to practice meditation. Otherwise, you cannot push yourself, or you just always lazy, both not good. So just to really make sure how to practice, how to the works best for you. And usually we say to meditate, we need to have the great diligence, right? Diligence. The reason we need diligence is because the Vipashyana teaches how to attain Buddhahood in one lifetime. And when people hear this, they have the sort of expectation of reaching the goal very quickly. I mean, it's possible, one lifetime, become a Buddha. It's possible. If it is enough your diligent practice meditation, it's possible. So people hear that one lifetime, and just really expectation. It's they reaching this goal very quickly. And when they don't sort of get great result quickly, then they lose confidence. This is because they don't have enough diligence, right? So we need to have great diligence without the expectation of achieving quick result. In order to eliminate all the negative mind poisons, we need great diligence. So but many people happen that, they really think, practice Vipashyana, has sort of a good methods, so many options, and if you use that, it's possible to become a Buddha one lifetime. And they didn't get that, they lose their confidence. They change their mind. So that's the really big obstacle. But also sometimes people also think that we will achieve Buddhahood if we have a diligence, like what Milarepa did. And that nothing will happen by doing just a little bit each day. Or we might think, I don't have diligence, so it is impossible for me to achieve any result. Or I don't have time to practice, then, I don't have diligence, I don't have time, so then it is impossible for me. So all these are wrong idea. So the Buddha said that doing any meditation is very good. Buddha said that. For example, he said that even if someone just has the thought of meditation, even done anything, but it will bring beneficial result. So our meditation practice is very beneficial. And we should not think that there is no point or purpose in doing meditation if we don't have the kind of diligence that Milarepa or the great master did. It's the best, but we cannot. Then there is also another option. It's no problem. So whatever you practice, just I think usually I say everyday practice, every day. Doesn't matter long or short. Just do it every day, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you have time. Then no problem. With great motivation, with pure motivation, practice pure motivation, then definitely better and better. I think that's we need to do, because we are very busy always, and sometimes people really don't have time to practice, and then they lose their confidence. That's big obstacle. That's not so good. You don't have time, that's fine. But you can make time, definitely. Like 10 minutes, 5 minutes every day. You can make that time. If you think I don't have time, then you never find time. Never ever. But if you make time, you have time, even though you are busy. Sometimes practice, sometimes don't practice. It's not so good. Everyday practice, really good. Even though short time, 10 minutes, very good. So I think that you should keep in your mind. And now you have this some kind of meditations like shamatha, Vipashyana, Bodhicitta. This all really good. This all actually doesn't matter who you are, so you can practice. It's about your life, actually. You have to put these teachings, this practice, put into your meditation. And you have to do this. You're part of your life. So this is not other. It's about your life, nothing other than that. So make sure correct practice meditation. Make sure pure motivation. Make sure don't harm others by your action. Both, body, speech, and mind. So pure motivation. Then get enlightenment or not, doesn't matter, right? So you have a perfect life. Perfect life. So now meditate for a few minutes, okay? When a thought arises, that is the beginning of distraction. However, if when a thought arises, you do not become involved in the content of the thought, which means neither following the thought nor examine the thought. So whether it is good or bad, just recognize the arising of the thoughts. Then the thought itself becomes the sort of next object of your intention in this method, you know. So in that way, you practice the sort of technique that is called resting the mind in emptiness. We call that resting mind in emptiness. That's part of the Vipashyana meditation. Resting the mind on emptiness. How we do that? So I think we should practice meditate same time, same thing that we did this morning. So we should meditate 20 minutes now, and then if you have a question and answer, I give you the time, question answer time, few minutes, because this is the last section of this retreat, okay? So if you have any questions, I will give you few minutes for that, but before meditate for 20 minutes, okay? Exactly same we did the last section. Just relax and look at your mind. So yesterday we talked about that when your thoughts arises and you have to recognize the nature of your thoughts. Still difficult, then you can investigate your thoughts, right? Still difficult, then you practice Guru Yoga. Practice Guru Yoga, and then it's so different. So, but I think just look at your mind and don't worry about past and future. Let go everything and just relax on that space. Even though you don't recognize the nature of mind, that's just fine. This is the foundation of your practice. So just to relax and look at your mind over and over again. And then how you feel, how it looks like, what is the experience. We should talk about that after this, okay?
You mentioned earlier today that we should listen to the teachings and then contemplate the teachings on emptiness. And then we should meditate. That meditate is not thinking. Is that correct? That it's a reflection or a feeling of the experience of maybe a small realization during our contemplation? That's correct?
Well, it depends. Some meditation are thinking. Some meditation are without thinking, right? So this, I think you are talking about first to listen teaching, and then contemplation, then meditating. So the contemplating, this, I think this is the investigation. Investigate what you learn and investigate how you what you understand about this teaching. And then For instance, if we talk about selflessness, you hear about selflessness and then contemplate. Means about selflessness, right? Investigate. Investigate, think about, and then eventually meditate, which means on emptiness. Then you are done. Investigate. Contemplate. Contemplate helps you make sure that you really understand correctly what you hear, the teachings. So you understand correctly, then you don't have to investigate. You just meditate on that. So, Tupa, Samba, Gomba in Tibet. Tuba means hearing. Tu. Samba means contemplate or investigate. Gom means meditate. Tupsam, Gomsam. Tu, Sam, Gomsam. Three important things. I think you're talking that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
Can I talk about the experience?
Yeah.
In this meditation, when the thoughts come, arise in my mind.
Thoughts?
Or the talking, my mind.
Talking?
Or the talks, how's it? Words.
Your thoughts?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I analyze that point. I thinking. I try to investigate where that comes from. And
Oh, I see. Okay.
and coming music like that. Good words, bad words, and I think it's coming from. I investigate what, for me, this came from something from outside, but keeping in my memory for a long time, and the other I create by my thinking. And one way I thinking. Well, I investigate one state in my memory for a long time, the past life and years, and the other, my brain or my thinking, create that inside myself. Cells?
Selflessness?
No,
Cells.
Cells.
Cells?
Atoms of body.
Oh, cells, okay.
Yeah, inside myself. And one moment I dissolve that thought, and I contemplate the eye of the wisdom. But the eye of the wisdom is like it's coming from in front to between, like kind of space, kind of space coming in front and make a circle in front, like a spiral. And
Okay.
that's where I got this experience. And,
All right.
and later my body start with a lot of hot. That's what I. And
Oh,
I
when you were-
understand.
when-
And I understand what is shamatha. And the other one is
Vipashyana?
yeah.
You understand those? Both of them?
Huh?
Okay. So that's an experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you have to investigate more.
Of course, I went to do.
Yeah, okay. But just the experience, not good, not bad, Yeah.
So I have a question. In the different meditations we've done this afternoon, the shamatha with the deep looking, sometimes you feel like you can get into the zone, is what I would call it, and sometimes it just feels like shamatha, and which is good. But you said if you could do, in those cases, do more like guru yoga or just do shamatha, would there be at points of that where you would want to investigate, like do that contemplative thinking also, or is it just looking? You know, looking deep. When you say looking deeply, it's just like, to me, it's almost like I'm looking back inside of myself. It's not something with words.
Right, right. Looking deep. Looking deep means actually easy to say this, just more focus. Focus more your intention. Focus more your nature mind. To look deep means really it doesn't mean you investigate, but look deeply means, for instance, if one thoughts arise, don't follow and instead look more. Understand? Don't follow and then look more deeply after that what happened. Right? That your thought dissolve somewhere, disappear, and then what that space, what kind of that space in there. Understand? To look deeply, deeply means just don't follow thoughts, and then there is a peacefulness and calmness after that. That's not the union of Vipashyana and shamatha, but there is a really peacefulness after disappear or dissolve your thoughts. So you have to recognize that and meditate on that. That makes you very calm and enjoyable.
The point is recognize the peace inside to that.
And yeah, that peacefulness also leads you sometimes the realization of the nature mind. So that's a really good one. Good foundation, good method. Mapam Rinpoche said that this is not really Dharmakaya, nature mind, but it's good method. Some teachers says you should not meditate on that, but he said that's correct. That's not correct, because this is the foundation. So it really helps you to move and the realization, the nature mind. After that, it's possible, you know, if you have this peaceful, then easy to realize the nature mind. Is that your question? All right. Okay.
Often when I start sitting, the peaceful nature of mind comes more easily at the beginning. And as I sit longer, more thoughts bubble up.
Perfect. Not perfect, but it's correct, yes.
Really?
I mean, what is your question?
I guess I would have expected it to be the other way. That they would, as time would pass, they would not bubble up so much.
Right. So that's why we say a short time, frequently, because of that. If you short meditate, beginning really good, right?
Yeah.
So then stop, and then take a little bit break, and then do again. So that's why for the beginner it's very important, short meditation. Because of that, if you have long meditation, then really more difficult, right? So That's no problem.
And one more thing. I find it more difficult too with my eyes open. I've been, since you mentioned, but it was mentioned yesterday, the stages. For me, when I open my eyes, it's like I'm back at the waterfall going over the rocks, whereas before it was the river, now I'm going over the waterfall again.
So then
Just keep
them close.
Okay.
I mean, you know, that's really, I think I really like your questions because this is really on your experience. It's really happened that, you know, sometimes that's also in book says, you know, if you have a problem with your eyes, open your eyes, then first, you know, close them very gently, and once you're done whatever the visualization or contemplate, whatever you're done and your mind is calm and stable, and then slowly open your eyes. If it is necessary to open your eyes, then just slowly, because now you are more sort of calm and peace, your mind, you know, then you can slowly, gently open your eyes, and if still difficult, then close your eyes, you know. But you mean keep your eyes closed, you mean more calm, more peaceful, or what that means? Better close your eyes?
More thoughts come more quickly when my eyes are open than when they're closed.
Because of you see things outside?
I guess.
See, that means you are not looking inward. You're looking outwardly. Then you can see things, right? And then you of course, both conceptual mind, non-conceptual mind, the combination, right? Then lots of rise thoughts. But if you open your eyes, but look in your inside and at the mind, you might see, but you are not follow or not leveling. I mean, you know, not judging good or bad. It's not no thoughts. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you open your eyes, I think that that's the problem. If you not really looking inside. When I open my eyes, looks like I see this piece of paper, but if I really deeply look into my mind, then for a while this piece of paper disappear. I can't see anymore because I focus on inside my mind. So then nothing bother me the outside. Instead, also if you open eyes, there is I told you, right, the light wisdom. That helps me really understand my nature. Helps. But usually Vipashyana practice, you have to have open your eyes. It depends what is your meditation, okay? Like Hinayana or Zen meditation, no problem, you close your eyes, maybe better. And Mahayana, slightly open. Vipashyana, really open. So it depends. But you're right, so for first, you know, just keep them closed. And then, you know, really, when you're ready, then just open your eyes. Yep.
On a related related physical note. Could you say a little bit more, expand a little on what you were talking about this morning in terms of breathing through your mouth rather than the nose, and what the advantages of that might be? Because again, I traditionally have been a nose breather, I guess, and when I was experimenting with that, and I found myself very self-conscious about, okay, breathe through your mouth, and that's a thought, and it's not helping much.
Yeah, this is really when you practice. It also depends your meditation. When you practice shamatha, and it really helps. You breathe through your nose. That's better. And other like visualizations and that also doesn't matter, mouth and nose. But the Dzogchen point of view is very important. Breathe through your mouth. But yeah, it's very important. But I will tell you maybe another time. But usually no problem. Either way, no problem. But when you practice, especially Dzogchen, then you have to breathe through your mouth. But there is a lot of explain about that in Dzogchen teachings. So maybe I will tell you sometime, not today. So, but it doesn't matter. When you practice shamatha, actually, breathe through your nose much better. Much better. So that's it. Yep.
We talked some about motivation this weekend. I would like to hear a little more of how important right motivation and right intention is in one's meditation.
Well, it's very important. Motivation is very, very important. Because when you have a right motivation, then you have a right actions, right conduct, right view, right path. There is a great yogi teacher says, if you have a good motivation, good intention, then you have a good path and good result. Bad motivation means selfish, right? Always thinking myself, and doesn't care others. So motivation is really important.